able to keep my open eyes off you. Even when I kept them closed, you got into my innermost. So afraid to fall into the open up to you. Farthest than I ever been. I was always out to win. I tried every loophole to never have to follow. Keeping my heart closed, I thought I knew what I get myself into. You got me breathing better than ever.
What's up, everybody? I am learning how to do this a whole different way, so it's going to take me a while to play with it. Whoops. I think I actually hit another song. It did. It actually went to another song. So I'm just trying something new and playing with some stuff, and it didn't work like I wanted it to. But anyway, we'll get it all figured out. The problem I have, I need two screens. I need a screen to run my sound and a screen to run my audio. And so, but I'll play with it some. I didn't like how I was doing it before, but I may use that again until I get it all figured out. So, but just playing around, trying to get it where I can get all of the music to play out and sound a little bit better towards the end. So I can change the music every day. So if I talk a little funny, my head's messed up. I've had ear problems since Saturday. And so I've got my Baja, thankfully, so I can hear, but I can only, half of my head feels stopped up because I can't hear out my right side. So anyway, so if I talk a little funny, well, I always talk funny. But anyway, more funny than normal. That's what that's all about. So anyway, did everybody have a great weekend?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Busy for me.
Sure. Holly had a good weekend. His water polo team won, I think. I mean, not water polo.
It was a nail biter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't really watching, but Jesse was, of course, glued to the TV. He's like, I wish they quit blowing the whistle. I was like, you me both, because I'd really like it just to end. So
now I got something new in the mail I want to show.
Check that out.
Look at this gear. I love it.
Woo.
Yeah.
Beast mode right there now.
Uh-huh.
By the way, you can get one of those on the merchandise store.
Mm-hmm.
That is found on the About page. So you guys can go over there. Also, the members has special items that they can acquire over there. There's a new t-shirt out, members only t-shirt that you guys can get over there. We cut all the profit out but 42 cents. So that was a Teespring requirement. So for all you members, if you've not been on the membership tab in a day or two, that is over there. If you want to be a member, the link to find out about all that's on the About page. It's $4.99 a month. You get unique stuff that we have never put here anyway, so it's just extra stuff. And some of it's pretty cool. Some of it, might not be so cool, but I think it is. I put it up there, so I thought y'all might like it. The community tab's free. The YouTube channel's free. All the podcast platforms are free that I know of. There's 6 or 7, unless somebody charges you for it on the other end. Our part is free. You can go to anchor.fm and listen to our podcast. I know you can get it over there for free. So anyway, so I think we're on 7 podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google, all those good places. And our podcast is the replay of this show. I upload most of these shows. I don't upload all of them. If it's a fun day, Friday or something, and I don't think we really talked about much other than hung out, it takes a good little bit to upload those. So I'm like, let's wait till we have something else. So most of the ones that we've done since I started doing podcasts are on there. So It's a good way to catch the show riding down the road, or where you're headed to your next camping spot. So, but anyway, we got that. We still have the Patreon if you want to do that. Patreon, the difference between Patreon and the YouTube membership. Patreon offers different levels, and in those levels includes in your deal support for Dirt Road Mission, which is our nonprofit where we do mission work around the globe. So that's the difference. You'll see, you can read up on all of them, and there are different benefits depending on what you do. YouTube, Patreon, and what level and all that, but it's all over there. Not required, but if you want to, there it is. Do what?
You did do a Fun Day Friday on podcast, right? Haven't you done?
I have done.
Okay. Well, Artists on the Road said you should do one just to see how it would go.
I have done some, and some of them have done well. Yeah. I don't do all of them. And so, but anyway, yeah, for the most part, everything's up there. So, what else? Am I leaving something out? I feel like, Thursday, Mega Channel. If it goes through, sometime today, you'll see the thumbnail on that. So, we're still, as of this morning, we're still talking with that channel. And as far as we know, it's still on. So, Thursday, we will be coming on at 12:30 Eastern. 12:30 Eastern till 2:30 p.m. So, we're going to come on later that morning. This Thursday will be later than normal. And we'll have a mega channel. You'll have to keep your eye out for the thumbnail today. But this channel has about 500,000 subscribers. So, and I think y'all will really enjoy it. I'm tickled to death that they agreed to be on our little bitty show. And so stay tuned for that. We have a lot of good channels going to be on. You know, we think that all of our channels that are on are awesome. But anyway, we do probably spend a little more attention to the bigger channels because we want to make sure we have a big crowd because they take out time from we know their busy schedule to be with us. So, and this is birthday week for me, by the way. I'm getting old. So I'm going to do like Rick and Bubba does. I celebrate my week the whole week. So this is awesome. I get to be with you guys and I get to do something I love to do. And so I'm going to make a week out of it. So, and the mega channel being on and all you guys being here and all the channels that are on and everything that y'all done for the channel so far is good enough for me, and it makes it for an awesome birthday. I appreciate everything y'all have all done so far and in supporting us. So I appreciate that. So let's see here. Don't forget that what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Tomorrow I might be drinking a different coffee.
What?
That's all I'm going to say about that.
What?
Tomorrow I may have a special coffee that I'll be drinking that is being sent. So I did it today, and tomorrow we'll talk about it. So I am probably going to say up front, it probably is not going to replace my death wish, but it might be a great rotation, coffee in rotation. So I can't wait to try it. I should have it on here tomorrow. It is not monkey poop coffee. I have not agreed to that yet. You've been hanging out with Thrifty Angela too long. So
they do cat ones too.
Do I?
Like they do cat ones too, like big cats.
Cat poop coffee?
Yeah. There's like big, I don't know what big cats they use. But they use big, I don't even know where it's from. But I've heard that they use, like cougars or something. I don't know. Google that, Gary. See, it doesn't have to be a monkey. It could be a big cat. You can have tiger poop coffee.
Yeah. So, let's see here.
Puma poop coffee.
I'm
That
not
woman has a
sending
good name
everyone
to it.
coffee, Bill. I'm getting the coffee. That's the perk about being the host. I'll let y'all imagine how good it tastes. Oh man. So let's see here. Let me go up through here and see who we got in here. So we got Nettie, Texas Family Camping. By the way, both of y'all's colors have changed. So y'all are in y'all's second month of being members. Thank guys. His Way Homestead. Happy Place Camping's changed colors.
Yay!
Nettie, Texas. Meemaw Matters is in the house. Artist on the Road is here, and hers changed colors, I think, Friday. Lucky Dog Production Moderator, Miss Sue is in the house. Good morning. Nursing Our Travel Bug, Bill is in the house. We had a blast over on his show a couple of days ago as well. Let's see here. Yep, Sue, I'm going to have Scott up here in just a few minutes. Wandering Aces Adventures, Billy and Brenda's in the house. Hey, guys. Captain Jack Scrappers here said it's a Millie raid. Chasing America's in the house. Captain Jack, Wolfman ain't got nothing on you. Wolfman Jack. Jerry Holly is here. Weekend RVing is here. Misfits and Dreamers is in the house.
And you don't have a morning show tomorrow morning, is that correct? Texas Family Camping just wanting to make sure that you don't. He's asking that question.
No, I don't have one in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when you said you were going to let us know about the coffee you're trying tomorrow, I think some people was assuming you meant for the morning show.
Tomorrow morning.
But, Gary drinks coffee morning, noon, and night, so...
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We will have a show tomorrow night. We won't have one in the morning. I forgot. I have my calendar folded in half because it covers my keyboard if I open it. Yeah. And I have to remind myself. The calendar not only reminds me to tell y'all, but it reminds me to remind me. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I won't be on in the morning. The coffee, we'll talk about the coffee maybe tomorrow night. So, if not, we'll talk about it Wednesday morning. So, sorry about that. A little confusion. So, K&R Destinations is in the house. One of our coffee sponsors, our Death Wish Coffee. I hope their deal goes through with Death Wish. They talked about last night on their show. Let's see here. DJ Plus 3 Outdoors is here. Let me go down. Weekend RVing, did I say them? I think I did. If I missed you, I am so sorry, but I don't think I missed anybody. I think I went down. We got 19 in the house. So taking a little medicine and making me a little edgy. Yeah. I don't know if the medicine's making me edgy, but something's making me a little edgy. That and the coffee together might be making me edgy. Might have to quit taking the medicine. Y'all didn't catch that.
Yeah, we did.
I was the only one that caught that. Oh man. Oh man. Y'all ain't right. Y'all gotta cheer up. It's Monday. Wake up. It is Monday, right?
Yeah, it's freaking Monday.
So I watched a few videos this weekend. I was puny Saturday morning and Sunday. I cooked Saturday night. I didn't do anything yesterday, boys, girls. I sat around and done a whole lot of nothing. Tammy and Thomas has been working and getting the house ready. They're hiring a professional company to come in and take pictures and do drone footage and all that kind of stuff of our house. So Thomas helped his mama all day yesterday. I did absolutely nothing, and I did not feel like doing anything. When half of my head is not right, I know typically my whole head is not right, but at least it's level, it's balanced. But when only half of it's out of balance, that really messes you up. So anyway, why don't we get Scott up here and start this interview and see what kind of trouble we can get into? Scott might need to go and do some work. We'll get him up here and see how cool his channel is. Y'all already know him. A lot of you guys do, but here he is. Look, you ready, Scott? I think he is. What about it, wild man?
Hey, I'm here.
Scott,
in your studio, magically appearing.
Do what?
So what's going on over there?
So everything's fine. Oh, Scott's future sobriety's got to wear shades, right? He's sitting in his house, got them shades kicking. And I am not going to say it has anything to do with the shelf behind him, but it could or could not. I don't know. Any of y'all notice what's sitting on the shelf behind him? I'm just saying. By the way,
there's a lot of encouragement on that shelf.
Yeah. So before I forget, if you guys have not seen Thrifty Angela's Instagram post from yesterday, y'all got to go check that out. I laughed. Y'all got to go check that out. So anyway, so Scott, my man, what's up?
I just got back from a trip. We were up at Promised Land State Park, which is in the Poconos, Pennsylvania. We were up there for the weekend. Inside the camper in the evening, it was 70 degrees. Outside, it was 36. So a little chilly out there in the morning.
Woo, man. That's perfect sleeping weather, though.
It was cold. I mean, even by the fire, it was cold. I was in a triple set outfit, meaning I had a long sleeve tee on, a sweatshirt, and then a hoodie on top of that. And it was still chilly. So we didn't do anything real early in the morning. We waited till that sun warmed us up a little bit.
When I was in the Boy Scouts, when I was young, we used to go to Alpine Cabin, which is located near DeSoto State Park. And we would camp in that cabin in the fall and in the spring. And all it had in it was a big rock fireplace. It was an old historic cabin. Well, anyway, the higher the rank you was in the Scouts, the closer to the fireplace you got to sleep. It took me a year or two to get sleep down on the first floor. But it was them chilly nights were tough, but boy, you could sleep good if you ever got to sleep.
Yeah, my wife loves the cooler weather. So we have a cabin up in Tioga County in Pennsylvania. And I crank that fireplace up, a gas fireplace, and I sit on the couch and she goes out and runs. I don't mind reading a book by that fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I like cooler weather. My wife is not a cold weather fan. She don't like cold weather at all, and we have to work in it sometime, but she's just not a fan of that. So for everybody that don't know what your channel's about, tell everybody what your channel's about and how it got started.
Okay, so the channel's called Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. So the bikes refer to motorcycles and bicycles. So I ride a Harley Switchback, Harley Dyna Switchback. It's a 2013, and my wife rides a 2009 Harley 1200 Sportster Low, and that is a favorite bike of they're on the Lucky Dog Productions. Bob Pierce. He loves Marie's bike. He thinks it's a great bike. So that's the motorcycle side of it. Boats. I've had multiple boats. Right now, I have a fishing boat, a Polarcraft fishing boat that I use, and we have 4 kayaks. So that's the boating side of it. We do boating and fishing videos. We do motorcycle rides and motorcycle reviews. And then bivouacs is actually a term that no one can pronounce that actually means camps. So in that portion of the channel, we do camping videos, travel videos, and things associated with the areas that we're looking at. So Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs is really an adventure channel that involves those 3 things. Not necessarily all at the same time, but sometimes we incorporate everything. I started that channel in 2018, and the reason I started it is I teach at a college, and I wanted to offer a course on YouTube. And it figures the freaking phone is ringing. Can you hear that in the background? But anyway, yeah, the idea to give a channel or to let me shut that thing off.
I love it.
Sorry about that.
Sounds
The
like
phone
my
never
house.
rings. It never rings. Of course, now with the politics, they're trying to all get you to
Oh,
vote for
yeah.
Yeah.
But I started that channel because I wanted to offer a course, and the students were really interested in how you can make money on YouTube and all that. And I thought, before I can teach this class, I got to know what it's like. So I actually got a grant to buy my original camera equipment, and I started playing around with it. I had some old video from 2011 that I started to develop my editing skills with on the channel. And then when I look back at it, it was so bad, I eventually took them down. But it did help me learn it. And that course, we finally did offer that course last year. It filled up in 5 minutes, and then COVID hit, so we had to do it remotely, which was not the way I intended. So we're probably going to push it back out there in the spring. But it's a way for me to capture these adventures and share them with people that maybe physically can't do what we're doing, but used to at one point in time, and they want to kind of relive what they were doing. It helps them do that. And then folks that are going camping at places we went to, those reviews give them an opportunity to see what they look like before they pull their rig in, to make sure their rig will work and it's the kind of campground that they want to spend. So that's why I started the channel. Love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what kind of rig do y'all camp in?
I have a KZ Sportsman 180TH. So this is a 18-foot toy hauler, and it has in the front it has a queen bed on the bottom and a single bunk on the top. In the center is a bathroom. It's a dry bath, so it's a separate shower from toilet. Across from the bathroom is the kitchen with a microwave, a propane stove, and a sink. And then in the back living room area where the bike gets tied down, there's a fold-out couch that'll fold out into a bed and then also fold up against the wall when I put the bike in there. And across from it is a movable table and a TV. So I can really sleep 4 or 5 in there if I have to. And I used a system called Bolted On, which ties into my D-rings to hold the motorcycle. So I didn't have to drill anything extra. And even though this is just a normal width trailer, I can put both bikes in there on the Bolted On system side by side safely. That Bolted On system was really key to me being able to drag both the bikes. A lot of times we just take mine. Marie doesn't really like to ride unknown roads. She'd rather ride roads that she is familiar with. So a lot of times we'll just take the Switchback or the Sportster, but there are occasions when we want to take both bikes. And that rig I bought September of last year, and I just finished trip number 14 in it. So I did about 14 trips in. And of course, in the wintertime in PA, we're shut down. I usually head to Key West and do my Key West videos. That was all scrapped this year. So I probably won't get down to Key West until January of 2021. So I did book a trip in August, Destin, Florida. So we
this
will
is
do
a bumper pull RV.
Yeah, it's a dragger. You know, there's fivers, drivers, and draggers. I'm a dragger.
Now
and I pull.
question is, with a dragger, what kind of truck do you have?
I run a Ram 1500
Yeah,
V8 Hemi with racks on it, and that truck. I can't even tell that camper's behind me with that truck. And I was a Ford guy. I had F-150s. I did have an F-150 that I wanted to pull with this. The problem was it was a single cab, and I didn't realize. You know, when my kids were little, we threw them in the back of the truck. Now you must have a car seat till they're like 11 years old or something. And my daughter said, you can't anywhere unless you have a back seat. So the next day I traded that F-150 in on this because it had 4 doors and I could put Callan's car seat. And I have a 2.5 and a 3-month-old grandsons. And the 2.5, he's already been camping with me. He kayaks with me. He goes fishing in the boat with me. He rides the mini bike with me. He rides the go-kart with me. So that kid's an adventure junkie already.
He's Papa's boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Definitely.
I'll have me a boy one of these days. Our girl, I remember my girl. My girl always was the deer hunter. My boy never did like deer hunt. My girl, she's got more weapons than I do. And she
sounds like Billings
at any minute.
Yeah, my grandson, I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. My grandson is from my daughter, and she's the one who used to really like to go sailing and do all that stuff. My son is more about the organized sports, so we go down to Eagles games and that kind of stuff. But him and his wife have now started to go camping and kayaking with us too.
That's weird. See, my son was an Eagle Scout. And me and him likes to go hiking together. And we had a whole bunch of camping gear I just sold at some of our yard sales. I've got 1 tent left. But I bought me and him both brand new 2-man tents a piece. Nice ones. And because we had got to where we was hiking a bunch, and I said, hey, we could do some backwoods camping. So I bought us all this equipment, never got used, not one time. But,
that's a shame.
Yeah. But I still got one of the tents. Maybe one of these days he can use it or something. But yeah, so you got to make room. I run a Ram 2500 with a Cummins. His Way Homestead has a Ram with a Cummins. He's in here somewhere. Yep. And His Way Homestead does a lot of mountain reenactments. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so he does a lot of tent camping, old school tent camping. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah. So you got a few Ram fans in here. Jerry Holly still drives those toy trucks, the little Fords, you know.
Ford.
Yeah. Nettie.
Well,
Ford had gotten so bad that Nettie had leaving the company.
Yeah, leaving the company. Hey, I'm done.
No, I actually, until recently, me and Tammy have sort of even more so moved in a different direction. But up until recently, I was going to swap and get me a F450. But yeah, going back to the toy haulers and the bikes, we bought our rig in September used. It's a 27 and a half foot Forest River work and play. And the people we got it from had Harley trikes. Well, when they bought the rig, they had 1 trike. And then they bought another trike, and they couldn't haul both trikes in the toy hauler because the garage is like 10 foot.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had a bike mount system. He showed me. He had done took it out before I bought it. But a bike mount system for that trike. And if a person bought my rig, all they'd have to do is just push out the silicone and mount it in. But they had to buy a rig that they could get 2 trikes in, and they bought a fifth wheel. They barely can. They got a toy hauler where the garage goes up like yours into the living room. And he showed it to us, and it's tight, boy. If he messed up, he still wouldn't get it in. But yeah, I can see wanting to have those rigs. K&R Destination just bought a brand new rig, and they put their bike in the back, and I think they've hauled it on one trip. So you got to think about all that when you're buying, don't you?
The other issue with me is I wanted a camper that would fit in my garage. So my garage is 32 feet deep, but the height on the door is just under 10 feet. So I was really limited on what I could choose. And now with the grandkids and all, I'm thinking I probably need a bigger rig, but then it doesn't fit in the garage. And I really like that I store mine inside. So it's, for 90% of the time, it's great for us. For times when others want to go, my son-in-law is a biologist, so he still likes to tent camp, and my daughter doesn't mind that as long as she has her air mattress with. And, the grandkids will climb in with us. So I think I'll have this rig for a couple years, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you might have to build you a carport just to put the rig in.
Well, I have space at the cabin for another big pole barn. I don't know if I can get spousal approval for it. I'll have to see. Got to wait for a weak moment.
Then ask for forgiveness.
Yeah. I tried that when I started flying. I tried that when my wife found out I got grounded. It cost me a front porch, a $14,000 front porch across the front of my house before I was allowed to finish my flying lessons. So it doesn't, you might be able to do it, but it can be a very expensive way to go about it.
I've always wanted to get my pilot license myself. Sue said to ask you if you're going to add planes to your channel since you're a pilot.
I was thinking about that. If I stick with the letter B, I have to get certified in a biplane. So it would be bikes, boats, bivouacs, and biplanes. But I don't think so. I mean, I fly usually once a month or so. When I had my business, I was flying a lot to meet my clients. But since I sold that, I really just fly for the heck of it. And I might put up one video a month, maybe, on flying. I think I have one coming out in November, either the end of October, beginning of November, on Touch and Goes, just so people who are thinking about learning how to fly can see what it looks like. I can't fly a drone.
You know why I don't have my pilot license, right?
Why?
My wife's afraid I'll bring a plane home one day.
Yeah. I did have one in my garage, that big garage I was talking about. I had a 1938 Navion sitting in there. Wow. I tried flying drones. I was inspired by Bob from Lucky Dog, and I crashed my drone twice. And I thought, what's easier, flying a plane than it is these freaking drones.
I want a drone one of these days. I want one that I don't have to have a license for, though. I could get my license. I'm a ham radio operator. I think that's one of the hardest tests I ever took in my life. And I actually fared well on them. It was just dumb luck. But I think I could get my drone license. But I don't know. I'd like to have a drone. We have a lot of beautiful places in the area we live in that is not in controlled airspace, but it would be awesome. I mean, some amazing pictures could be took from a few hundred feet. But anyway, I'd like to have that. We got a question. Let me go over here. Somebody wants to know, what pilot license do you have?
I have my private pilot license, and I have a couple of endorsements. I have a high performance endorsement, so I can fly planes greater than 200 horsepower. And I have my complex endorsement, which means I can fly planes where the gear goes up and the propeller has a variable pitch propeller that you can change the pitch as you fly. So that's the license. And I had them, I think 2001, September of 2001 is when I got my license. And around 2011, I got hit with type 2 diabetes. So that put me on the ground for a little bit. Then I got all that fixed up, and I was building my cabin and broke my foot. That took a year to heal. And then I was walking my dog, and she went after another dog that was coming towards me, and chasing her, I broke my leg. That put me out another year till that was fixed. I'm finally back in the air. I don't want to break anything.
Yeah.
Texas
It's a lot
Family
of fun.
Camping said they have their private pilot license. Hey, that's a major accomplishment right there.
It's a lot of fun. It's especially fun when you have to get somewhere and you look down and see all the traffic stopped, and you're going at 120 miles an hour to your destination with no stop signs. That's what makes it
the
work.
crow flies too.
Mm-hmm.
You're going 190 miles an hour the way the crow flies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you always rode Harleys, or is that something you build up to?
I started out on a mini bike as a kid. Again, I bought it without my dad knowing, and I had to give that one back and try to get my money back. And then I went to a Yamaha YZ125, Honda CL225, and then I went to a Yamaha 350 two-stroke street bike, Suzuki GS 550, and then what the heck did I have after that? I had two. Then I went to a Harley. I went to two different Sportsters as I moved through the Sportsters, and then I bought this Switchback. And honestly, I mean, I would look at a Road King, but I love this Switchback. It is my favorite bike of all time. And in 2004, I bought my wife 2003, I bought her a little 200, Yamaha 200. She had that for a month. And then for Easter, I bought her a purple Suzuki S40 Boulevard. And then she rode that up until 2 years ago. One of the ladies I worked with over at the college was getting back into dirt bikes and was selling this 1200 low Sportster. I had 5,000 miles on it. So I had her ride it, and the controls and the forward controls, everything was very similar to the one she was riding, but a much larger motor. So she wanted it, so we bought that for her. Now, I'm not a motorcycle snob. I don't care if it's a motorcycle. In my opinion, if it has less than four wheels, it's a motorcycle. I wave to everybody. I ride with people on all different types of bikes.
Yeah.
It's fun being out there.
I had a 125 Yamaha, the street. Was it a KM one?
KM. I think the KLM.
I think it was a KM 125. It was silver with the street light. It was a street bike. 125. Of course, I started out on a little Honda mini bike as well. And then I've had several street bikes, and but for my graduation present, high school graduation, and I got a picture somewhere, it may be on the community tab, I bought a brand new Honda Rebel. It's a 250. And man, I love that bike. I mean, it was small, but I'm a short guy anyway, and I loved it. I rode that thing everywhere. And but that was, I've had a few street bikes since, not too many. I haven't had any since the kids were big enough to want to ride. My wife asked me not to get one, and she didn't want the kid. She said, if you want to get on one and hurt yourself, that's fine, but she didn't want the kids getting on. So I didn't get one while the kids were young. So
I have a Yamaha scooter. Does that count?
Yeah. Hey, 49 cc's. You don't need a license. You can just drive that.
Actually, mine's a 125 Vino, so it's I do have to have the license. So.
And gas. And gas.
Yeah, and gas.
I don't think the gas had worked on it because somebody got stranded Friday, I think it was.
Yeah, the gas, it was full. It was a full tank. Jesse had filled it up, and I just run like maybe 4 blocks, and it just died. And I'm like, oh, great. What? I didn't even think to look at the gas because we just filled it up. So I leaked my gas out somewhere, and we don't know where it went.
So what I'm thinking is blackmail. We got all those texts, Jerry Holly, from Friday of somebody slamming, what's his name, about the little scooter breaking down in the middle of town. So all I gotta say is blackmail. The only reason I think my idea will fail is what's his name's afraid of her, like me and you, and so that will not work.
Yeah, but there's always payback.
Yeah.
Payback's worse than blackmail.
You have to go to sleep.
Scott, if you don't know, me and Jerry is terrified of the two ladies sitting below us.
No,
I don't
artist
blame you.
it sits in the garage locked up, so I know that's not where it went. We had a leak, and we knew we had a leak at one point, but we thought we got it fixed because there wasn't anything else on the floor of the garage. So we thought it was fixed, so I didn't think anything of it, and I took it out. Well, evidently it's still leaking out, and it must have leaked out pretty quick because I imagine if anybody was following behind me, they were probably like, oh my gosh, what is she leaking? You know.
Hey,
Right.
we got
Gas, don't throw out your cigarette butt.
Depends.
I know.
we got not only I thought we had Sue in here, but we got Bob in here. Lucky
Both
dog.
of them.
Yeah.
We might have had Sue in here as well, but we got Bob in here as well. Lucky Dog Production. He said
Yeah,
that
he
his
is-
favorite bike was a Suzuki S40 Boulevard 650. Love it.
Yeah, that's the bike Marie had for 10 years. She really liked that bike, and you know, it gets 67 miles to the gallon. It weighs 300 pounds. You can put it anywhere. It's a great bike.
Oh man, KNR is completely terrified here.
He's afraid to open it.
Oh man. So, what is some of the coolest trips you guys have been on with your camper?
Well, with the camper, because I just got it in September and COVID hit, I've been to Maryland and PA. I was scheduled actually to go out to the Wandering Wagner's camp out in Ohio in August, and then my employer wanted us to be in Pennsylvania 14 days before school opened, so I had to cancel that trip. I would say my favorite place to travel to is Key West. And in June, I had a trip plan called the Captain and Colonel's Excellent Adventure, because I'm a licensed boat captain also, and my dad's a retired Marine colonel. So we were taking the camper all the way down to Key West for a music festival that Howard Livingston's group, the Southernmost Coconut Castaways, puts on. And that whole trip got canceled. But every year, I go down to Key West and we videotape that whole experience, whether we're fishing, going out to restaurants. I do have a playlist on my channel of just Key West videos. It's my favorite place on the planet. You know, I can't get enough of it. It's disheartening for my dad, who's in his 80s. He would go to Key West 2 or 3 times. He has, you know, a number of sons, and he would work out his plan. So it seemed like he was there every few months. He was in Key West. He lives up here in PA. So the Key West trips are my absolute favorite. I love the Outer Banks. I like to travel anywhere. But with camping, I want to take the camper down to Key West and ride my motorcycle across the 7 Mile Bridge and wave at Fred the Tree. If you're not familiar with that bridge, the old bridge, the original bridge, is next to the 7 Mile Bridge from Marathon to the Lower Keys. And about in the center is a tree named Fred, who has survived hurricanes and everything else. There's a children's book written about that tree, and he has his own Facebook page. So if you get a chance to check out Fred the Tree, I want to ride my motorcycle past that. And my dad said he'd jump on the back and ride down there with me. So
I think
when I'm there,
our destination's wanting to do that as well.
Yeah, the one advantage we have is because my dad's a retired Marine colonel, we used to be able to stay on the base very inexpensively. I don't know if that right now they've closed all that. I don't know if that's going to come back or not. And I told him, you know, as soon as he's comfortable with traveling again, we'll just rent a house if it's in the wintertime and we can't run down there with the camper. And if it's in the spring or the summer, we'll just run the camper down there and get that done. So that's the one trip I really want to make sure I get done. Destin will be another one this summer.
RV Weekend said they have some good drone footage of Fred.
I have to check that out on their channel. I do follow them, so I'll look at that if it's up on their channel. Because
Me and Tammy's been to
Fred's-
Key West once, I think, and I absolutely loved it. I'd like to go back. I'd love to camp down in that area. I love Florida. The whole state of Florida, I love it. Growing up in Alabama, that was where a lot of us would always go on vacation. And me and Tammy's been to Miami, but we didn't get to do anything. Like we went there and caught a cruise ship. But I got a cousin that lives down in Miami, in South Beach, and it's just it's in its own world. Key West, own world. I mean, there's nothing on this place that I've seen that's anything like it.
Okay.
And I've been to a lot of places, and I think it's just amazing. I'm like you. I agree. I could probably live there.
Jimmy Buffett has a song. Everybody's got a cousin in Miami. You might want to listen to that. If you like the Keys and and you like that tropical feel, if you go to milemarker24.com, Howard Livingston's band, this guy really is living what Jimmy Buffett talked about. He had a diesel parts business in Chicago and sold it and started at 55 singing music, tropical music, and putting on shows down there. And he's a big reason why we like to go down there all the time. We become close friends with him. His music's fantastic.
Yeah, the laid back part is just, I mean, it's just totally different. When I'm in Uganda, they take laid back to a new level. They just don't have all the luxuries of Key West.
Right.
Right. But I guess I've never thought about camping in Key West, but I guess there's a lot of places to do that down in that area.
In Key West proper, there is not. The very next island next to Key West, it still has a Key West address, is Stock Island. And on there, there's Boyd's. And there's actually a connection. One of my brother's neighbors in Gettysburg, PA, is related to the family that owns that. And then there's Lee's. And then down a little further, Sunshine Key RV Resort is 1,000 Trails. The southernmost KOA is about maybe 15 miles outside of Key West. That was slaughtered by Irma. They're just about to reopen. That's another great spot. So there's a number of campgrounds that you can stay out. They're all expensive. You're going to pay some money. But if you're going to Key West, you're going to pay that anyway. And I would say if you stay at Boyd's, get out on the peninsula so you're backing right up to the waterway. I mean, you want to see that every day if you're driving your rig all the way down there. And there's so many great bars and places to eat down there. You're never out of places to go.
I know as a teenager, I spent a lot of time. I had an aunt that lived in Fort Walton Beach, and I loved going down there. We go down there and spend a couple of weeks at a time. And as a teenager, I thought I could get used to this. And of course, as a teenager, we didn't think about the fact that they have to work and survive as well. But I always thought, man, this would be cool. I always had bad allergies. I thought this is the perfect state for somebody like me that has bad allergies. This salt water is awesome, and it was just amazing. I always had a place to hang out with your friends, and eat and all that. I grew up in rural Alabama. We had nothing. Nothing. Yeah. If you hung out somewhere, it was in your car circling somebody's parking lot. That was it.
Right. Put the tailgate down.
Yeah, that was it. And
that's how we grew up, swimming in a creek.
Yeah. Yep. We have some beautiful places up here, but as teenagers, we didn't realize what we had at the time, Yeah. And so, well, what's new and upcoming for your channel? Anything?
Yeah, we're going to do a little more concentration on state parks. There's a lot of state parks in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. So we're going to, for 2021, we're working in trips to different state parks that we haven't been to in Pennsylvania, We're looking at new state parks in Delaware that we haven't been to. One of my favorite parks in Maryland is Elk Neck State Park, right out on the peninsula. There's a lighthouse there, and in the movie Absolute Power, they pushed a car off the cliff there in that movie. And I used to have a house to cross to the east of that lighthouse. So I was really familiar with that area. So I like going down to that state park at least once a year. I'm usually at Elk Neck. So those are what we're going to look at from a state park perspective. I already mentioned that trip to Destin we're going to do in August. So that'll be a longer trip down there in your Fort Walton Beach, Destin area of the Panhandle. That trip, I'm not taking the camper on that trip. That is a house trip. We're renting a 9-bedroom, 9-bath house down there with extended family. But that'll still be good video content for my channel with the travel component of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to try to get out to Ohio. In Pennsylvania, you have to book the state park almost a year in advance to get a spot.
Wow.
And in Ohio, the YouTubers that I know that are out there, like following the Fitches and the Wandering Wagners and that crew, they tell me they book a month or two in advance and can get sites. So I might make a run. I have a sister that lives out there in Ohio near the Air Force Base, and I want to get out there anyway and see that stealth jet, the SR-71 that they have out there that could literally outrun a bomb. I want to go see that. So
Yeah,
I'm probably going to head out to Ohio. My July is the only month I don't have figured out yet. So I'm waiting for one other friend of mine who is talking to a friend of theirs to see what they want to do. So those are the travel plans. As far as the motorcycle plans, we want to ride Route 6 next year. So up north in Tioga, along the New York, Pennsylvania border, Route 6 goes all the way out to Erie. So we want to ride more of Route 6 and start from the cabin and head out west up there. As far as boating and fishing, there's a number of different lakes that I haven't been on yet that I want to fish. Cowanesque is one of them. So we'll get 4 or 5 of those trips in. And I might have some other boating content. I just got a grant from the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission to buy a boat on behalf of the college to take inner city kids out fishing on the boat in the nearby lake.
Wow,
So
that's
I
awesome.
Yeah.
might do some kind of that. You know, those kids, when they get to fish, it's usually the bank of the Schuylkill River, and they never experience fishing from a boat. So with this grant, I'm going to be able to probably get between 100 and 200 kids a year from the city out on a boat fishing. And my students, I have a fishing club at the college, and my students will teach them all about fishing prior to getting on the boat, and we'll run them out there and have a good time out there. So I'll put some of that. I got to watch with the kids, you know, how much content I put on.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the travel plan. It'll be a busy 2021, assuming COVID doesn't wreck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of boat will you be able to buy for that grant?
I'm gonna buy between a 20 and a 26-foot boat. I'm gonna look at pontoon boats, and I'm gonna look. I love Carolina skiffs. I've had probably 6 of them. A big 24-foot Carolina skiff with lots of space would be perfect for this kind of thing. So I'm waiting on the contract from the state. It said their attorneys, you know, putting all the language together. So once I get that and I make sure I can meet all the covenants, then we're gonna go find the biggest boat we can find for the month.
Yeah, cool. My dad has a deck boat with an inboard Chevy motor, and we were out on it just a couple weeks ago, and it's pretty awesome. Me and my wife have had pontoons, and this deck boat is hands down the way to go. Just as much room, and it'll scoot. Yeah.
I've been looking at deck boats. My grandson, he's watching this guy named Blippi on YouTube. I don't know if any of you have seen Blippi, but he's kind of like the modern day Pee Wee Herman, only he's not, you know, in bathrooms waiting for people to come in there. So Blippi has some great content, and he does this one video on boats, and this 2.5-year-old told my daughter, "Pop needs a bigger boat." So I've got a bigger boat. That, you know, that's spousal approval right there if the grandkid wants it.
Right.
we had a channel on here a while back, and their grandkid, they're homesteaders, and they just bought this big old place, and their grandkids told them they needed ponies, and so guess what? Papa's getting ponies.
Yeah.
So that is cool. You're going to get you a boat. That's pretty cool. And that grant writing, I know from friends of mine that do grant writing for our school system. That's pretty. There's an art to that.
Yeah, you got to have all the right words in there to get it to even be looked at. But the college that I work for, we're right outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. Reading is one of the poorest cities in the country, and our college has taken an interest in trying to help the economic development. And we bought a building right in downtown Reading and are moving a bunch of our programs there. And are partnering with a lot of people. So we're doing an awful lot to really redevelop the city. And I think that was a big part of why we got this grant, because we had already shown an initiative at helping the city revitalize itself. So this grant just fit right in there. And from a recruitment perspective, if I have 5th, 8th graders on the boat fishing and they're linking that good time with the university I work for, right? They're going to consider Alvernia when they decide if they want to go to school or not.
So there you go. You can grant money to buy the boat, recruiting money to sponsor the fishing trips.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah. I bet Scott really enjoy that as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It was like when I was a captain on the Delaware River in the summertime. I was running a safety boat for the duck boat business. I'm getting paid, and I'm burning someone else's gas, and I'm on the water. For me, that's a happy day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And there's something about though letting kids do something they've never got to do, and those smiles are priceless. I get to experience that sometimes in doing mission work, and I can just say there's not a job in this world that pays that much.
Yeah, the ministry side of it is important. Our college has a strong community service component, so people that are attracted to this school really have an interest in helping other people. It's one of the mainstays of the university. So. You're right. When you see the smiles on their faces and you see the way they respond to something new that's exciting, and you get their hands smelly with a fish, and it changes the way they look at the world too. There's more just outside their city block that they can do.
Yeah. We assume sometimes that all kids get to do the things we got to do,
right?
And that's not true. And we don't realize it until we get our head out of the TV and get outside and see the world for what it really is. And that's amazing. I was talking to some friends the other day and their YouTube channel, and we were talking about it's amazing the mix of people that you can see in the YouTube communities where we all hang out. And it's amazing the mix of people you see. But if you only watch TV, you would think that's not possible.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, I've learned that just from trying to learn about building my channel and getting it to the magic 1,000, and I get maybe 25,000 views a month on my channel, and
wow.
Everybody
Pretty good.
that I've talked to with a channel, big or small, has always been willing to answer my questions or help me, or everybody seems to have a specialty at certain things, and nobody's afraid to share it. Everybody's willing to share it. So the YouTube community, to me, I mean, the only real TV I watch are the Discovery Channel with Deadliest Catch and Wicked Tuna and that kind of stuff. The rest of the time, I'm just watching YouTube videos. I learn more from them. They're more pure and authentic. I like the authentic
Now, how did
Feel
you run
cool.
into Steve Turtle? Were you actually at that campsite?
Yeah, well, I had seen, I had an interest in work camping and finding out what that was. So I watched a couple of his videos and I realized he was at Millbridge Village, which is, 25, 30 minutes from my house. And the trip I was going to go on that weekend got canceled. So I looked and I found a site there. And then I told them when I booked it, I said, let Steve Turtle know that I'm coming down there because I was, commenting on his channel. So I did an interview with him. I did a review of Millbridge Village campground, and we were right on the Peckway Creek. Right, it was right behind our camper, and Maria and I dropped the kayaks in there, and we kayaked the Peckway Creek to Route 896. So we had a really good time there, and then we rode the motorcycle over to the train museum and the Strasburg Railroad. Those videos, I don't think they're scheduled to come out until November. I try to build up my inventory because in the wintertime, most of my hobbies are on hold. So they're not scheduled for another month yet before they come out. But you'll see Millbridge. But Steve is a great guy.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from him. If you're, for me, if you're thinking, even if you're a part-timer, right? If you're going to winter in Florida or you're going to winter somewhere down south and you want to work camp for 3 months, to me, it seems like a really good idea, depending on the campground or the state park. In Pennsylvania, the state parks, if you're a camp host, you have to work 40 hours a week for your free site.
Wow.
So most of the private campgrounds and some of the, I think it's the state parks in Florida, it's like 14 hours a week or something. So you really got to look at that ahead of time if you're planning it. And Steve, he mentions all that in his videos, and he has good links to websites where you can look at it. So that's how I got to meet Steve. And camping therapy.
Yeah, she met you, right? Is what she's saying in the chat.
Yeah, camping therapy. She came over. I actually fed her lunch. She was there for lunch. And she was talking about selling the little camper that she had and then buying the new one that she's working on now. So yeah, she was down there. She just did a review of Millbridge. I think she just put that up yesterday. That Lancaster area has tons of campgrounds. The Amish country, a lot to see and do.
So Steve is a wealth of information as well. I mean, there's not much about work camping he don't already know.
Right.
Yeah.
He has all the connections.
He is headed to Texas, I think. I think he leaves the end of October and heads to Texas for a little warmer weather for the winter this year because he spent the winter working up here. He said he was cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to meet him one day. You also did you get to meet Traveling Robert?
I was supposed to. He was up at the Hershey RV show, and I was supposed to go out there, and I got this freaking sinus infection that just put me on my back. So I couldn't get out there. And there's a town up here called Centralia that was closed because the mines underneath it were burning. And kids were, writing graffiti on the street and all, and I wanted to take him up there. And since COVID hit, they bulldozed all that. You can't do it anymore. So we missed our opportunity. But I was supposed to meet him. He has really helped me out also. I've been following him for years. And he's always answered every question I had. And I hope to meet him at some point.
Felix had him on our show last Tuesday, right? And she talked about how nice he was and quick to respond.
And his wife will only be on the channel if she's drinking, right? If she has a glass of wine or something, then she'll allow him to put him on video. But if she doesn't do that, she won't be on.
We're only on the channel if we're drinking as well. So
that's right.
I don't know if you got Bailey's in there or what. Something off the shelf up here.
It's like this much coffee and this much Bailey's.
Yeah. We could
Yeah.
have used some of that at this last weekend. It was cold out there, Kim. And I have one more trip coming up, October, second weekend in October. I'm headed to Elk Neck State Park in Maryland. Actually, my cousin is supposed to be camping with us that weekend, so that'll be good to see them down there. That's a beautiful
So-
state park.
FYI, Jerry Holly got a fire call. He had to leave.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he just texted us. He's a fire chief in Kansas City, one of the districts there in Kansas City. So,
yeah.
or somewhere in that area. And, but he just texted me and told me that. So, life of a fire chief right there. So, you were talking about having a book. In Alabama, we got a bunch of great state parks, and that being said, I think that's what makes it so hard to get into them, because people come from out of state and all around to get them. But I've sort of figured out this little trick. You know, if you're camping, if you'll just keep watching from the time that you know you want to go, generally most campgrounds have cancellations within a few days. You know, and you can watch when Jerry Holly was going to come down. We waited a day or two, and then boom, we got two sites side by side. But if you're going to do a group, it really don't matter if you're side by side anyway, because everybody's going to hang out where at one campground or one camping spot. So, but I think when K&R Destinations, they came down, we didn't even get the sites booked until the week that we were going to be camping together, I think. Because they were so booked up. Kyle texted me, there's one opener, y'all still in? I'm like, yeah, and that was like 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a little trick of it. I don't know if that works in every state, but that has been our luck here, especially at DeSoto State Park. It's a real popular park. So
Yeah, you know, and I don't mind the private campgrounds. I'm good with KOAs or any of the private campgrounds. I prefer wooded sites to open sites. So if the campground has a wooded site, I'm more interested in that. And I don't mind glamping it up. You know, if there's a campground that has pool and, you know, entertainment, all kinds of stuff, I'll pay the money, you know, if there's a lot to do there. That doesn't bother me.
Was it your video that there was it a Ferris wheel in the campground?
Yeah, that's Twin Grove Campground. It's right outside of Switchback State Park. Now, Switchback State Park doesn't allow camping. They have no campgrounds there. But this is literally right across the street. They had a Ferris wheel. They had an indoor merry-go-round. They had, you know, fancy water slides there, a barbecue restaurant. That was a really, really nice spot. Now, when I booked that, there were only 2 sites left. So I was, you know, in the open. I wasn't in a wooded spot, but I had a group of people there I was camping with, so it didn't matter. We were down at the other sites anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a setup right there.
let me get it back. I was getting text. That's His Way Homestead. Does them reenactments. That's the kind of tents they camp. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're nice. They're the kind, you know, they'll put a belly stove in those with one of those portable chimneys out the side.
Oh yeah, that's way too much work for fat boy right here. I'd rather have a 2-man tent and sleep on the ground.
Yeah,
I
like the back.
But that's old school and that's fun. I mean, I can see me getting addicted to something like that.
So, do you do any boondocking? Are you set up to boondock?
I can boondock. My rig will hold 38 gallons of fresh water, and my black and gray tanks, I think, are 26. And I don't have an onboard generator. I have a generator that I can throw in the back of that Ram. I think, actually, I'm going to boondock in March at Cabela's. We're going to start off at Cabela's in their parking lot. Just because then I can get anything I need for the new season and pull it out of the garage the minute we get one, you know, halfway decent day. But then I'll start boondocking. This last weekend at Promised Land was our first time in a electric only site, so I had onboard water, and was a good test of my 12-volt pump to make sure, the shower and all that worked. So everything functioned great. So I'm ready to go boondocking now.
So, we got a little bit of a mix of different RVs here. And Nettie has the Taj Mahal of RVing. She has like a 54-foot diesel pusher or something.
Something like that.
Something like that. And Felix has a Cargo Largo, I call it, a Cargo Largo setup. Even though we can't officially use that name, we got to come up with a new name. Felix has a converted cargo trailer. That is awesome, I might add. Mm-hmm. They built it themselves, or didn't build the trailer. They converted it.
It was an empty trailer. Put everything in it.
Yeah.
That's how I started out. My first trailer was a toy hauler cargo trailer, 16-footer, and I cut in windows, put a max air fan in, a counter, I put electric in there with Pullman cots with foam on them. And my first year camping, I did a camping trip at Spring Gulch in Lancaster in that, and it worked great. It was just too small for everything I wanted to do. And I knew with the grandkids, coming, I was probably going to need a little more sleeping space.
I know for a fact that this cargo trailer idea was what's his name's. I know for a fact, and they've not told me this, but I know it, and I would nearly bet my truck on it.
Yeah, it was definitely his. When he first told me about, he had watched videos from I Ride Tiny House Adventures. Bob Wells even had a cargo trailer at one time. I can't even remember who else he watched. And he's like, hey, you need to see this, and I'm like, no. Like, no, I don't want to do that, because my thought wasn't really that it was a cargo trailer. I didn't care about that. It was, I didn't want to do all that work. I didn't want to build it. But the more I watched him, the videos with him and, and stuff, the more I was like, maybe that would be kind of neat because we could do it how we wanted to do it. Because I'm not always happy with the setup of a manufactured RV. There's always something I'm like, well, if that would have been over here, or if this would have been this way, or if this, So
how I know that it was what's his name's idea, and I need to get out of rifle range of Felix before I say it, but it has bunk beds in it.
Yeah, I already knew he was doing that.
Felix, like, if we're doing this, you're sleeping up on top.
I took the top bunk because he's a little heavier than me, and if it's going to fall down with, our construction skills, if it's going to fall down, I'd rather fall on him than him fall on me. That was my way of thinking for taking that top bunk. So
they got some awesome videos on some BLM land. If you've not checked out their channel, it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's, you was talking earlier about everybody helping you. When I started my YouTube ventures in December, I thought it would be like me against the world. I didn't know it would be, hey, you're going to get in there, you're going to meet a few friends, and then they're going to help you take on the world. I didn't realize that. Is that how you went into it?
Yeah, well, like I said, it was a learning process for me, but my frustration level was kept pretty low because of that, because of everybody helping you. And it surprised me at first. And then when I started camping, everybody that was camping near me who I didn't know, if there was anything I didn't know how to do or was struggling with, they're willing to help you. So it just, not only the YouTube campers and the YouTube channels, but also campers in general always seem willing to help people. And it's true in the fishing world too, right? I found this kid's fishing license by the boat dock. So I drove it to his house, and it was a younger kid. He was maybe 15, 14, something like that. And his mom said, he lost this twice, and both times people with fishing licenses returned this to us. You are an amazing group of people. It's just that attitude of just helping people figure it out and making everybody's lives better seems important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our very first trip, we've had several RVs and we've camped in tent, the whole 9 yards, pop up. We bought a brand new, and I was telling the story the other day, we bought a brand new Gulfstream 36-foot fifth wheel, Mike Daddy at the time. It's several years ago. We get to Smoky Mountains, our very first trip, and just about dark 30, everything in the RV shuts off. Like everything. We're plugged in, nothing works. I mean, we're dead. And the neighbor happened to be out, and I go out, and I said, for some reason, I lost all my power, just yakking because we're so close up in the Smokies, the spots are. And, man, immediately he stopped what he was doing. He said, let's see. He said, it can't be much. You got a brand new, he could tell it was brand new. I said, yeah, first trip. And the people that I bought it from here in Alabama was fixing to head that way up there to help us. They were real good. But before they got gone, my neighbor got in there and helped me, and we realized that the power going to the camper had gotten unplugged when we loaded it, but and we were running off battery the whole time. And but he didn't hesitate a bit. He didn't know me from Adam, and he jumped right in there and done everything he could, had lights and got me back going. I might would have figured that out on my own, but the fact that he jumped in there to help me made a big difference.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, there's no telling how many times. Now, the RV community in itself is like everything else. There's always that jerk, But for the most part, I've had a good experience with it.
Yeah, me too.
So, anybody in the chat got any questions?
Well, Chatty Cathy would like to know what's on the bottom of my coffee mug. So it would be a daydream sticker.
Thought that was Mickey Mouse. I'll be right back.
Okay. Felix is in charge of marketing, guys. Have y'all guessed that?
Yeah. It's subliminal marketing messages.
Yeah. When the coffee's hot, it changes colors and it says something else.
Oh yeah.
A rock star.
Nightmare stickers from RV Weekends.
By the way, y'all had a good show yesterday, Nettie. You and BB3.
Oh, man, thank you.
Great show. Seriously, I enjoyed it. You guys did such a good job
on my neck,
researching and getting all the information, and and you presented it so well. Yeah, I was really impressed. You guys did awesome.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
RV Weekends has got a bunch of videos coming out about Florida. If you guys, any of you guys in here that wants to know anything about Florida camping, RV Weekends is your connection. They may have other knowledge as well, but they do a lot of camping in their home state and beautiful places, real detailed. So if any of you guys are new, there's a lot of good channels in here. I just highlight some that I know right off the bat what they do. So we got a question for you, Scott. People wants to know, what is it that you teach mainly at the college?
Finance. So I teach finance and a little bit of accounting. So years ago, I had a financial planning business, and I actually sold that to one of my students. And it was maybe $30 million worth of book of business. And my student, who's now maybe 38 years old, now has close to $4 billion under management. So he did a great job taking that business and just loading it. But yeah, I teach finance and accounting.
I hope you got
prior to that
with that sale.
Say that again.
I said, I hope.
Well, yeah, no, that was a that was a cash deal, but I still help them out. Occasionally, I do some work for them. So we have a good relationship there.
So I actually read the question wrong, but that was interesting to know that too. But in the class that you're doing about teaching them about outdoors, do you actually take them out camping?
Well, that is on how to monetize YouTube and social media.
Oh, okay.
So what we do with there, we show them, what the requirements are for YouTube to monetize. We show them other options like Patreon and the Amazon affiliation and those and merchandise sales. And we then also help them learn how to shoot video and how to edit. Editing is the biggest issue. So we will go out on shoots with them. Some of them, we make them create a channel. So some of them have outdoor related channels. They're the ones I tend to work with. And my co-teacher on that particular course, he was a reporter for one of the NBC affiliates in Lancaster. He had a lot of time in front of a camera and more of the, the how to, set up your shots and that kind of stuff. So she did more of the formal stuff. I did more of the info.
Yeah.
But that's a great course. I love teaching it. It's a lot of fun.
Sound a lot fun. I would have took something like that before I started mine because I knew nothing about it. But I got one of the other channels hooked me up with a call with a PBS producer the other day, and that was really interesting. I don't know if it's going to turn into anything, but we had about a 45 minute talk, and that was interesting. Talking about a future show they got coming up, and they thought that we might fit in that interview process part of that. And so we talked about it. They talked like they're going to get back, but you know how that kind of stuff goes. But you just never know. But that was interesting to me to hear sort of how a lot of that goes. I knew a lot of it, but I didn't know all of it. So, but pretty cool.
Do you use a specific software in this training class that you do for YouTube for the editing, or do you have a favorite that you just have them all use, or do you let them pick what they want to use, or?
Yeah, because of the Apple versus, Android and Apple versus PC thing, we let them pick their own editing software that they feel comfortable using. But at the school, we have the Adobe suite for them to use. My favorite, you'll laugh at me, but my favorite video editing program is the Windows 10 Movie Maker. They don't support it anymore. And my computer had crashed, so I needed another one, but I found a site that had the old Windows Movie Maker on it and I could download 80% of mine. I use Windows Movie Maker to edit. And then I have Adobe that I use sometimes. I have to use the Adobe Photoshop if I'm converting like PDFs to JPEGs, like of the campground maps to put them into the video.
Right.
So I do use Adobe and the Adobe Video Editor. I use that occasionally. So there's three of them that I have. I can't think of the third one right now that I have. It was inexpensive, less than $100. It does a pretty good job. I use that on some of the motorcycle videos, especially if I'm shooting multi-camera angles. If I have a camera on Marie's helmet and my helmet, I'll use that program. But 90%, 80% of it, I'm using Windows Movie Maker 10 just because of the ease of use. And it does take me between a half an hour and an hour per minute of edited video to do a video. So if I have a 10 or 12-minute video, I've spent about 10 to 12 hours making that.
Wow.
I wouldn't do videos if it took me that much time.
That's why I do one a week. That's why I do one a week.
Yeah, I don't do many videos because we're mainly an interview entertainment channel. We do film our trips, but we've not got to do many trips. That's one reason we turned into an entertainment channel instead of mainly a video channel. But not to say that we won't have more of that coming down the road, but right now we don't. But if I
Yeah.
had to spend, if I have to spend 10 hours on a video, y'all never see another one.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
not
Well,
happening.
you know, I shoot, depending on the camera, I use a Sony FDRX 3000. That's my favorite camera. And then I also have a Hero Session 5, which is the little square camera, which I like, I have a hat clip for when I'm kayaking or fishing or something. And that's continuously running, right? So to get a 12 or a 15-minute video, I got to go through 3 hours of videotape and cut it down to what to me looks interesting. When I do the campground reviews, the amount that I have to go through is a little less because I know what I'm looking for. So I can shoot those segments and I just have to edit them down. And I talk into the camera to tell myself where I need some edit stuff. But,
Yeah.
the continuous video is what takes the most amount of time. And if you're shooting multi-angles to camera.
Yeah, that would take a lot more time because
Oh,
you
yeah.
actually sit and watch that 3 hours worth of
Oh, yeah.
footage that you have. So yeah, I can see
Now,
where that would.
Gary, you haven't asked him the hard questions yet. Does he have a Blackstone and does he drink coffee?
I do drink coffee.
Wait a minute.
Primarily
You drink real coffee, black.
I drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Black.
It's black when I start out, but I do put half and half in it when I'm drinking it.
Yay!
So it does start out black.
So let me just
But
say,
here's the thing, Gary. Here's the thing.
The men of this world
Here's
is getting weaker and weaker. Is all I got to say.
Here's the thing, though, Gary. When I go camping, I don't have an ADC drip coffee maker. I make it in an old percolator. I have an electric percolator and I have a camp percolator that goes on the camp stove. So we only drink percolated coffee when we're camping. At home, I do have an ADC. And as far as the grill, I don't have a Blackstone. And it's an interesting story. The Blackstone grill, when I see people use it, when I asked the question, I think it was S'more Camping with the Shrags. I asked them about their Blackstone, about the cleanup after they use it. And they say it takes a while to clean that thing up. So what I just bought it. I'll do a review on it. I bought an electric skillet, 16-inch, and I ordered the baking rack. So in this skillet, I can do everything I could do on a Blackstone, but I can also bake brownies or corn muffins or chicken or pork chops in that, in addition to using it as a skillet. So I thought that was a more effective use for the size of my, because I like to cook outside. So I have my Coleman grill and I have the electric skillet. And the Blackstone is owned by the friends that I go camping with that have outside storage for their They have like an outdoor kitchen on a shelf below it where they keep that stuff. So I eat off of their Blackstone. I just kind of glom onto them when I need something like that.
Now, I think it's interesting that the Shrags went ahead and said, this is a pain to clean because, I went through this with the whole Instant Pot thing and everybody's like, oh, it's easy. It's easy to use. It's easy to clean. That is, to me, it's a pain. So it's really who you are and how much effort you really want to put into cleaning something. I don't want to be
professional first. So, how hard is it to clean a Blackstone? When you get done cooking what you want, you hand your plate off to your wife to take everything in. You leave the eye on hot. You take your metal spatula that you've been cooking with. You scrape all the scraps to the back. Takes about 2 seconds. Into the catcher in the back. And then you take a rag, squirt you some oil on it. Not a rag, but a paper towel. Wipe it down with oil. Leave the eye on. When it starts smoking, turn the gas off, close the lid, go in the house. When you get ready to cook again, it's ready.
See, about half of that was more than I want to do.
That's easy.
Where are you?
An iron pan in the daggum sink.
But if you're camping, where are you storing that in your camper?
I store mine because I don't have storage in my camper because I got a toy hauler. I haul mine in the bed of my truck. My stand collapses and I just set it all under the cover of my back truck. I mean, my pickup truck. If you had
We have
under
ours in the basement. We have
Yeah.
room for ours in the basement.
mine, I don't have a basement because I got the garage, but
Yeah.
or I just roll it up in the toy hauler and just strap it down, and you can do that. But there's not, I don't know of anything that you can't cook on that Blackstone. I don't know.
I
of
agree with
anything.
you. It's a
But the
it's
cooking,
it's
people
very
that,
useful. But I think the skillet, 'cause I don't have an oven. I have
right.
a microwave and a two burner. So this gives me the opportunity to cook also like it's an oven, which I can't do on a Blackstone.
Oh yeah, you can. I've seen people cook biscuits and pizza and everything. I've not done it, but I've seen people do it. But it's easy to me. I've seen people make it hard. I've seen people put water on them and clean them. No, you won't see water on mine. I clean mine like my mom cleaned her iron skillets. Scrape it,
Yeah.
wipe it down with oil, put it up.
Right.
That's what I do.
Now, the next question is from Artist on the Road. Is he team slot dog or curl a dog?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He don't have to. I've seen that look.
So you'll have to tutor me on that. I'm going back to remediation.
Let me see. I might have pictures of my. Now I got a new smoker this weekend, thanks to Over the Hill RV. He sent me and Jerry Holly a brand new mini smoker. And let me get the volume up here. Let me hit it again.
Okay, so you're grilling up those dogs.
See, they
Looks
got
like you
slots
cut
in
them. Yeah, I don't do that.
They're curly dogs.
just-
They was
I
cut
just-
in a little clamp thing.
Yeah, I don't cut them. I love hot dog. I eat them every camping trip, but I don't cut them up. I just throw them on there and get a nice little char on there.
Yeah. What
And
this does,
always put raw onion on them. Raw onion and mustard.
See,
What
he's actually team original hot dog is what he is.
he's not had a good curly dog yet. You put your hot dog in that, and then you clamp it shut. You open it back up, lay it on the grill, and let the smoke go through all the way through the hot dog. Number one.
Yeah,
Cook it on a black.
I'm a curly dog virgin.
There's no telling. We used to have a wheel. We gave away prizes. There's no telling how many of them we gave away. Everybody.
They are amazing. I never thought a hot dog could taste so good, to be honest with you. That's all I have now.
Yeah.
I can eat them all week. It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I sliced them before, and put them flat. And I like trying them with lots of different things, like a Chicago style dog. But really, for me, it's a grilled hot dog with raw onion and mustard. But I would try that, if I'm down that way. You can throw one of those on and we'll see how I react.
You'll love it. You'll love it. That's the only way we cook them anymore. I think
Same
that
here.
little mechanism's like $5 on eBay, and it's amazing. We had a Canadian friend. What's their channel name?
Food
It's
fixing
having
and
two. Oh
food
yeah,
fixing more.
Brad from
yeah.
Yeah.
Food fixing.
Food fixing and fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, he enlightened us on slot dogs, and he sent me a slot dog maker, which is different than that. It's got the metal blades. And then Over the Hill RV, who sent me the smoker, and Jerry got one too, but he sent me that curly dog he found on eBay, the little clamp thing. He sent me that, and he said, I want you to review them and tell us which is better, because the slot dog was like $19. The curly dog thing, like Nettie had, like $5 or $10. Anyway, wound up when I done the review, I've got a video on it. You'll have to watch the review. But anyway, the curly dog wins. I'll give you a spoiler, but you'll have to see why. You have to watch the video to see why, but it's amazing.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check it
But
out.
somebody says curly dogs is the best. Yep. K&R eat some. They come down for a meetup, and I cooked up a bunch for them. Whoops, we lost Nettie. Well, I know you said you got to go to work.
I do. But before I go, for you guys and anybody out there, I have these new swag items. This is a magnetic bottle opener. So you need this all the time. So if you folks want this, and anybody that's watching wants this, if you just go over and like my Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs Facebook page, you can message me your address, and I'll send them over to you.
Y'all got
So
that, guys? So there's your bottle opener.
That is a magnet that's actually functional because it'll open that beer for you.
That's right. That's
All right.
right.
Well, hey, thanks for having me on the channel. It was a lot of fun.
Well, thanks for being on, man. That was cool.
Yeah.
So, you made my day when you said that you got that grant to buy a boat for them kids.
Oh, yeah.
That was the highlight of my day. KNR always does this show, and they said, "What made you smile today?" And that made me smile. I love that. So,
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. It'll be, and then, that's fortunately, that's going to last more than 1 year, right? So we're going to be able to take 200 kids out every year as long as the boat floats. So that'll be good. All right. Hey, well, have a good rest of your day. And when I head out that way, I'll let you know I'm in the area.
good deal.
See y'all.
Thanks. See ya. Man, that was cool, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop his Facebook page link. So if anybody, he said if you go over there, like his Facebook page, message him your mailing address, and he will send you one of them awesome little magnetic bottle openers.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Felix, you could actually hang that on the side of your rig.
Who, me?
All metal. Yeah.
No, because
it's aluminum on that.
magnetic.
Yeah, aluminum or stainless. Yep.
She can actually tie a little rope to it and just do this and knock you out with it, is what I'm
Hit
thinking.
what's his name with it? Yep. She could tie that from the top bunk, and when she needed to drink,
Yeah.
she could slap what's his name with it and say, "Hey, I need a drink." There's Roy and Becky coming in. Jerry, you're back, so I'm assuming that wasn't a very bad call.
No,
Good.
not bad.
Good.
I'm duty chief this week, so got to listen up for everything this week.
Duty chief. You mean your boss is on vacation?
No, I just in charge of the district. We take it a week at a time. So every 5th week, I'm duty chief for the week.
Oh, the buck stopped with you.
Yeah, one bad decision away from not having a job.
Yeah, or one
Hey,
bad.
that may be a good thing. No.
That's what I was just wondering. Is Jerry planning to make a bad decision this week? Because
Oh man.
Trying to figure out how to message him here so I can get one of his can openers.
Kyle
Jerry's
said,
in charge.
"Jerry is in charge." Oh Lord. I'm assuming that's Kyle based on some comments made earlier.
So it looks like you're not coming on in the morning. That
Right.
Texas Family Camping did make a comment that they were going to come on tomorrow and try a live. If
Okay.
anybody wants to check that out.
Good deal. Also, tomorrow night we'll have Sailing Away with T&K. That sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so don't forget to watch. Maybe we'll get the thumbnail out for the Mega channel for Thursday. Maybe we'll get it out today sometime or another.
Don't forget the merch store. They got
Don't
some
forget
cool
them.
stuff.
By the way, Happy Place Camping has merch as well, and she has some masks. Check that out.
I'm sorry, I'm upside down. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
This is
but
really nice. I love this. Mm-hmm.
K&R is ready to go sail away.
And we got ours.
Oh, Nettie has a merch store too. I keep forgetting about Nettie's.
And
Yep.
of course, this new one is awesome. I love this one.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
gangster right there now.
Gangster. If I can get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
KNR said that just ordered 2 shirts, finally got fat boy sizes.
Oh, with some of the sizes out then? We don't have any control over the sizes, unfortunately. That is completely up to Teespring. We don't get
KNR, the thing that Nettie's got on now, they call them gaiters.
Oh yeah.
But we actually have the mask too. So,
And it's really large. It's really nice.
so Kyle, that would work for you with your mouth open. So,
and for a teeny tiny woman, it's an excellent tube top.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle said we've been out of extra large. Yep. Yeah, we don't control the stock.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You have to be a woman to wear it as a tube top?
Well, you can wear one if you want, Jerry, but
I think maybe he will need one when he goes swimming just to cover up those.
Cover up the niblets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Extra large and bigger been out. Texas family camping. Talking to Meemaw Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to catch up here and see what I missed. So, what am I leaving anything out? Forgetting to talk about something I need to talk about?
not that I can think of.
And I got this too.
Woohoo! That's sharp.
That's a nice mug.
Yeah, I really like that one. Looks.
KNR wants to know how to get the mask. The gator, it's all on the, if you'll go to the storefront, it's all on there.
Yeah, it's on the Teespring.
The big black thing she pulled over her head, they call them gators.
Yeah.
They're
And
not
it's in
black.
I think you got it on the morning crew and also the daydream.
Yeah, come in.
They're not cheap. The gators are
Oh, yeah.
a little bit pricey compared to the regular masks.
Yeah, but I think it's worth it because a lot of people that before this happened, they were wearing them like hunting, and they always had those on before. So-
Most people
Yeah.
really tend to like those. So
I took
Yeah,
my hunting ones and cut them in half because, see, all I need them for the mask, so I ordered
Yeah.
more.
and
you
it's
can
very breathable. I really like it myself. Mm-hmm. Gangster.
So you can get like these, but now without any logo on them.
Yeah.
Like 5 for $20 on Facebook, and then cut
And
them
he's
in
gonna
half.
go look again. I don't think he saw it initially. They're not allowed to wear them at work for Jesse J.
The gators.
no,
Gators.
not now. They changed that. That that as things continue, they keep changing rules. You can wear this, and then it's
I
you
can't-
can't wear that anymore. You got to wear this, or
I can't
So-
wear the ones over the ears.
And that's
So-
why that's a great mask that you have, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you can act. Well, camping therapy, I ain't so much worried about the protection part of it. Because I don't know that any of it does any good, but that's just my thought. But anyway, I shouldn't have probably said that out loud, but that's just my thoughts. I'm just thinking out loud. Jerry's got his paper one on.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
why
look like Madonna. No.
Oh, Lord, Madonna. But to back up off what I said, I wear mine out of respect for others. So even if I don't like it, I still do it because that's what we're supposed to do, respect others.
Oh, Jerry, what are you
To
doing?
some extent.
that looks really good, Jerry.
Pretty much.
I screenshot that for Jerry's new thumbnail. Now you can't get them all off.
He's all hooked up now. Can't get it off.
Getting all tangled up.
You're like, "Get off of me."
You look like the old astronauts used to.
Oh,
That's
Mummy
too
fire
funny.
chief. That's what I was thinking was mummy.
Right?
oh man.
Oh, it's funny.
Aren't mummies flammable though? I don't know if that's a good idea, Jerry.
What's
You know,
that?
since you work with fire, aren't mummies flammable?
Mm.
Can
Mummy.
be.
Yeah.
That's already snapped.
I gotta know not to do nothing on this channel. It gets screenshotted too fast.
You can't do anything anywhere on anybody's channel without it getting screenshot.
Right. That was from K&R, so that may end up on a mug or something. You never know. Wow.
Oh yeah, that might. Yep, I got that. So we got about 15 minutes to go. And we're gonna have wound up Monday morning.
And
So
this is my last full week.
Yay!
And then it's just up to Wednesday next week. So that's awesome. Woohoo!
so you're just working Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, and you're done?
And I'm done. Yep.
Woo!
I know. I'm a little nervous because I'm excited. I guess that's got butterflies. I'm excited to hit the road.
Well, I hope that this last few days, I hope they go by quickly for you, because usually when you're really looking forward to something, the days drag.
Drag. Exactly. I can't wait to wear that shirt I showed you about being retired.
I've only got 1,095 days left to go.
That's all.
Yeah.
It'll be here before you know it.
So we're gonna celebrate a week and a half to go for Miss Nettie.
Yay.
We might have to have a special thumbnail that day.
Hey, Papa Mozo's here.
Let me turn this down. I thought it was going to do something besides that, but anyway. Get it all turned back up. There's Papa Mozo in the house.
Nettie just said that.
Well, I couldn't hear it over the racket. I was celebrating for her.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, you're right, KNR.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, Nettie.
That's too funny.
That sort of resembles Nettie, by the way.
It does not. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, man. So,
we got Britton Farm Homestead coming in.
So, Kyle and Ryan and Jury, do y'all remember me telling y'all about Joe's truck stop when you come off that steep mountain and there's a rock wall there, and I told y'all the trucks wreck all the time?
There's a lot of rock walls in Alabama that you got to watch out for.
They just had another wreck there. It just come across my Facebook feed. Another truck. What it is, there's a brake check at the top of the mountain, but you see the truck laid over in the background?
Yep.
If you come off the mountain, coming back to Fort Payne, at the foot, they call that Joe's truck stop.
Did they not afford to put red paint on those trucks?
Oh, they went to white trucks several years ago. The big trucks are red. I think the medics are white. And all the bosses, the big wigs. That's the city of Fort. No, that big truck was white too. So they must have went to all white trucks. That's the city of Fort Payne.
Actually, believe it or not, your insurance is cheaper on a white truck than it is a red one.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yep.
So I found y'all a hot water system for your cargo conversions, and if y'all did I share that? I shared it. It's on the community page. It's a hot water system, shower and sink system. I forgot what the name of it was, but let me see if I can find it. But any of y'all that are building, I've been trying to research and see how safe it would be to put that hot water heater inside a vehicle. So I don't know because it's propane, but it's called the JOOLCA hot tap.
Like tankless?
It's a tankless hot water heater, and it has everything you need to set it up. If you buy there's a package that has a sink system and a shower system all made together. And I think it's like $400 for everything. So it's
Felix looks thrilled about it.
Felix hadn't been thrilled about anything all morning. The only time her eyes opened past halfway was when Scott was talking about the shelf behind him. All of our podcasts, that shelf was full of whiskey. I forgot to mention.
He did talk about a magnet. That was a little.
That perked her up just a little bit.
Thrifty Angela came in. I don't know if you saw that, Gary.
Thrifty Angela, I was promoting your Instagram earlier today.
I was doing this.
Did y'all go over and look at Thrifty Angela's Instagram
I
post?
saw it when it came out.
Well, I'm not really for sure which one that was you were laughing so hard about, because I thought there was a couple on there that was pretty amusing. So
I was laughing at the one about the mask.
About the mask.
okay. I figured that,
Man, Thrifty Angela, I did not expect that post from her. I did not.
She is wearing a mask right now, but we don't know what else. But she is wearing a mask.
Well,
I get the feeling that's all she may be wearing.
Right.
Just saying.
And a glass of wine.
Mask and a glass of wine.
Let me just say the wine might have led to the mask wearing.
Or the only wearing of a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yep, Thrifty Angela. That was just whew, I don't want to say that was a side of you I'd never seen before.
You definitely did make people laugh, Angela.
Man, that was
That
hilarious.
was a really poor choice of words, but
Yeah.
Well, Gary just said.
Never seen.
the side of you I've never seen. You shouldn't be looking, Gary. If you don't wear a mask, you need to look the other way.
Right? Look at him. He's blushing. If I say
Yeah.
Oh, man.
right here.
Y'all the ones that said it. I didn't say it.
She says she has a weird sense of humor. Well, we think she's funny, so I guess that means we have a weird sense of humor too.
Right.
Oh, man. That was crazy. That was definitely crazy.
And did you see anybody coming up, Felix? I didn't see anybody. I was searching.
They're rolling Becky's, and I didn't see that they had a thumbnail yet, but
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if they're still where they're having bad internet. They popped in here for a couple of minutes. I don't know if they're still in here or not.
We had a big storm that just came through while I was on with you guys. That's why I keep getting bumped off. A lot of rain and wind.
Hmm.
Yeah, I still don't see a thumbnail for them.
So Gary, how's the house going? Is it going okay?
Fine.
For Gary, your house,
Oh,
is it going okay?
They got a crew coming out today, a professional photography group. Going to take pictures and drone footage. So Tammy is in there now, getting everything. Took off the counters and sweeping and all that kind of good fun stuff. Thomas weed eated and put the kayaks up yesterday, and I need to go out in the garage and cover up my new smoker I got. I got a cover for it. I got to put the cover on it and get all that rolled away out of the way and all that kind of good fun stuff. There's nursing our travel bug.
So Roy and Becky won't be going on until 1 Eastern.
Okay.
And I don't see anybody else, so and I didn't get a notification for anybody else. So, but of course, we all know that means nothing. YouTube doesn't even, they don't tell me. I have missed, I don't know how many of Nursing or Travel Bugs premieres, and don't even realize they have a video out for like 2 or 3 days. And the only reason that I looked last night was because during their live, they had said something about a video. And I'm like, I don't remember watching that one. And I went back and looked and I'm like, well, okay. So I don't know. I give up. If you don't just go look, there's a good chance you're missing somebody's video. So.
And there's Hannah Hines, my replacement. Hello, Hannah.
Hey, Hannah Hines.
You've trained her well, Nettie. You've trained her well.
I think so. Now, she won a slot dog on the wheel.
Yeah, she cooked any on it yet?
Yeah, she did. She actually made them beanie weenies. She did it too hard. So very little, but, she used it.
They're all good, right?
Yeah.
She could have put her some chili on the hot dog and then put those hot dogs in it. And
right.
Had a chili dog.
That would
she's going like this in the chat. Yeah, they still turned out. She just did it too hard.
Oh, man.
I know. It's a lazy Monday.
Yeah. I'm going to go get truck inspected here in a couple of hours.
They don't have that in Alabama.
I hate doing that crap. I think it's stupid. But whatever. It has to be done.
I know. We have it here too. Mel thinks the same way.
We don't have it here in the great state of Alabama.
Nuts.
It's probably coming. If they can tag some money to it, I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah.
There's some vehicles that definitely don't need to be on the road. I will give you that.
You know what? And we have the stupid inspection stuff, and there are still vehicles that shouldn't be on the road. So it doesn't matter. It's just a way for the state to get more money.
And take it.
That I don't know what they do with because, they keep saying that they're broke, but whatever.
Yeah. Inspections don't mean nothing because they have them for dump trucks and big vehicles. And look how many dump trucks you see going down the road, oil pouring out from under them. And case in point, the truck wreck, that's a failed brake or something. Or bad operator. But these state mandated inspections are a pure waste of time.
Yeah, they're just another way for the state to get money out of you.
There you go.
If you want to keep the maintenance up on your car and make sure that your car is safe, then you will do that on your own. You don't need a state inspection to tell you that you need to fix something on your car.
The
So-
thing is, if they would just enforce the law they already had, inspection. If they're not going to enforce the brake lights and the oil dripping, if they're not going to enforce that, the inspection's no good anyway.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So if they would just enforce the law itself, they wouldn't need inspections. They take those same people and put them out on the road. We'd be a lot better off. That's just my opinion. Everybody's got their own, and we're running over.
Yeah.
So-
Well, not that it matters. I don't think anybody's coming on, but
I probably
I
need
get a
to-
reminder that you will not be on tomorrow morning. Just
But
to
we
let
will.
Jerry Holly know, because Jerry will be texting us looking for your thumbnail.
We will be on tomorrow
Hear that,
night.
Jerry Holly?
Yeah, tomorrow night,
Okay.
not tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow night, Sailing Away with TK. And Thursday, Mega Channel. Hopefully get that thumbnail out today. Not promising, hopefully. Get that out today, maybe. So, all right, guys. I got to go. See y'all tomorrow night.
Good night.
Bye.